Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new edition of Hue Spotlight. Today we're going to talk about how timeless and ageless music can be. I want to welcome my special guest, Bruce Good, the Good Brothers, Canada's iconic country bluegrass folk group. So many accolades through your 50-plus career. And Bruce, how exciting is it that it's like the
Oh,
Good Brothers 2.0, you're making new music again?
we are. I've always said that in this business, is you got to have talent, of course, but it also takes a lot of luck. And just when I thought that the sun was setting on our careers, we've had a lot of success with a new single that we just released, and lucky to have met some people who wanted to keep the ball rolling. They were a lot more optimistic than we were about recording again, but they talked us into it. Our record company, Country Core Records, and with a new management team, it's like everything's brand new again, and it's pretty exciting actually, because like I said, it's something we really didn't expect.
What was it like, Bruce, for you to get back together and get back into the recording studio? You know, that first time when you're laying the tracks down with the vocals and the music. What was that
Well,
like?
it's kind of like riding a bicycle. It stays with you, so you sort of hit the ground when you're our age and you've been in the music business as long as we have. You hit the ground running. So we knew what we wanted to do going in. We did it. We've recorded three songs. We're working on three more right now, and have written lots. So hopefully we'll get nine or ten and release a new album by the end of the summer. So we're pretty excited about it.
And does that mean that you'll go on tour too?
That's that's what it means. Yeah. Well, you know what, Tracy? We never really stopped touring. Um, we weren't in the limelight like we used to be, but we did what we know, and what we know is our music. So it wasn't like I was going to change careers, and after 50 years of making music, my dream of being a neurosurgeon was far behind me. So I thought I'd better stick with the music. So here we are, my brothers and I, and while we still can too, that's the most important thing. People ask how long we'll keep going. I keep saying, well, as long as Willie Nelson keeps going, so will we.
Well, it is truly amazing, and I think it's the love and joy of it that really keeps you young at heart. Let's talk about the single, though.
Mhm.
As much as this has been such a joyous adventure, it is a little sad in the whole song that the single is about. I'm going to let you tell the story because it is
Yeah,
your story, Bruce.
yeah. Well, it does. The single stems from a tragedy that our family experienced 3 years ago, when my youngest boy Dallas passed away suddenly, with an undisclosed heart issue that we knew nothing about, of course. Um, and after that, I wondered if I'd even play again, because needless to say, it hits hard. But I started writing a song, and I guess I was doing it more, and it wasn't immediately following. It was several months after we lost Dallas. I started writing a song in my music room downstairs, where I have a very large picture of Dallas in the corner, and he was looking over my shoulder, and I started writing this song thinking, can I write a song about how I feel and the experience of losing a child? So I started, and really it was really like therapy for me to write this song. And I wrote it and rewrote it and rewrote it. It took me so long. It took me the good part of a year to get it to where I thought he would approve, that Dallas would approve. And so often I'd look over my shoulder at his picture, and I'd say to myself, nah, I don't think Dallas would like that line. So I'd change it. And so the way, and really, what I got from that as I was writing it, I realized Dallas wouldn't want me to write anything about death. And so I wrote it in a way that it could be interpreted as a relationship gone south. It's just about a loss, about losing someone. And it doesn't really define how you lost that person if you listen to the song, but it does suggest that I went into drinking more than I usually do, which I did. And I'll be honest with you, both my wife and I both wine with dinner became wine in the afternoon and wine with dinner and so on and so forth. But we passed that stage, thank goodness. And again, because Dallas would have wanted us to do that. But what I have found out too is that how many people, you don't really realize it until you've lost a child, how many people have lost children. And we started doing this song live about a year ago, and it just amazed me at how many people would come up to me after the show and say, I lost a son, I lost a daughter. I know exactly, that's exactly what I went through, wondering how I would recover. So that's the story of how I wrote the song. And again, I'm really amazed at how many people it has touched, since I've been performing it.
Well, it seems like you wrote a gift. Dallas gave it his blessing. And I just want to add, too, I mean, Dallas himself is a well known, beloved Canadian musician, the founder of the Sadies. And
Yes.
again, obviously, music runs through the family, through your veins. And I
It,
just
it,
think it's so beautiful that you have done this. But for you
well,
personally, though, it must be so emotional, but yet happy that you've had this opportunity to not only give back, but to also
mhm.
help you in the whole
That
healing process.
it really has helped me, and it's helped Margaret, my wife, as well. But this the song I've always been known in our music as doing novelty songs, fun songs, party songs. Let's party, let's have fun, So this was really something different for me. And again, I didn't want to get too dark with it. I wanted it still to have some kind of character, some kind of lightness, or some kind of message, um, that these things happen, and you get through it. You never get over it, but you do your best to get through it. So that's what this song was for me.
Well, it certainly is beautiful, and we were going to play the video at the end of this, but I want to talk briefly. There is a Winnipeg connection, which I did not know about the Good Brothers and how they
Which
started.
Winnipeg, which how when we started, which
Yes,
is
with James, I believe,
with
James
James Ackroyd.
Ackroyd.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's a couple of Winnipeg connections, really, but James was the big one for us. Um, Brian and I were just out of high school. We didn't know what my twin brother, that is,
Hmm.
I'm talking about. We had dabbled in music, but not really played it professionally at all. Just locally. And then we met James Ackroyd, a guy from Winnipeg who was really well known. And we didn't realize how well known he was until I met Neil Young for one, and Randy Bachman, and both Randy and Neil, they both said, "Oh yeah, you're the guys who played with Jimmy Ackroyd," and it just blew me away that they were so familiar with James. And so anyway, we did form a group called James and the Good Brothers.
Hmm.
That was our first jump in the pool as far as mu professional music is concerned, and we got our union cards, and that sealed the deal for us. And we did a festival that went across Canada called the Festival Express. That was our very first tour ever. Prior to that, we were, again, the luck thing came in for us. We met some promoters in Toronto who had us open shows at Maple Leaf Gardens for Grand Funk Railroad and Frank Zappa and Mothers of Invention, big names at the time. I mean, we were so lucky to get on that those shows. But we started by playing those opening shows, and it went pretty well for us. You know, for some unknown kids, you know, from Winnipeg and Richmond Hill. And then the same promoters put together this train that went across Canada. It was supposed to be 5 cities, but because of the hippie politics of the day back in the 70s, it was 1970, and there was supposed to be Montreal, Toronto, Winnipeg, Calgary, and Vancouver. It ended up being Toronto, Winnipeg, and Calgary. So those were the 3 shows. And the reason when I say the hippie politics, at the time there was a group called the May 4th Movement. And they were just a group of hippies who, quote, wanted to take back their music from these fat cat producers. So, they decided that they weren't going to pay for the music. They were just going to crash the gates, which they did. They came to Toronto. They really they all but rioted in Toronto, but they crashed the gates, and hundreds, maybe thousands of them got in for nothing. And you know, at the time, it was $14 for a weekend pass to see bands like Janis
I
Joplin,
know.
the Grateful Dead, the band. You know, 10 years after, Ian and Sylvia, and an unheard of trio called James and the Good Brothers, of course.
But yes, but how seeing how music has come today, how does it resonate with you guys now?
Music has changed so much, and so the business of music has changed so much in our over 50 plus years. Um, and yes, the music has changed so much. Back when we were starting out, uh, you had to sort of have all your ducks in a row. I mean, it wasn't a sort of sudden fame like today.
Hmm.
Today, somebody can record in their basement and do a video and never tour, never go out, and the next thing they got a million hits, and they're stars, you know, in their own right. Back, I feel like my dad or something saying this. Back in my day, back in the old days, uh, we had to become our own everything, find management, find a record company. First of all, get a fan base. And that meant playing in clubs and bars and any gig you can get. And hopefully they'll be lined up to see you in due time, which we were lucky. Again, we were lucky enough that people lined up to see us, caught the eyes of managers, caught the eyes of producers and record companies. You got to catch those eyes, and then you have to follow through with making a record, touring with that record, doing all those things. Today it's quite different.
Yeah.
I'm realizing that now with this new single.
Yeah.
Uh, we haven't really toured this single yet, but it's doing great. I'm getting lots of comments from people. Um, so it's really it for me. It's quite different, and that's the business. That's the business today.
Well, you know what? Maybe you're just going to start a new trend, and we're going to see all of these people from back in the day, back in the 70s, doing a hit single and going back on tour.
Well,
I'm my
many of them
fingers
do.
crossed. You know what?
Many of them do. Yeah.
Well, it's been such a pleasure, and I wish all of you the very best. I think this is
Thank you.
fantastic. The song is amazing. When you're now that you're gone,
Yeah.
and a beautiful dedication not only to Dallas, but like we were talking before, to all of those that have lost a child or a loved one. And like you
Yeah.
said too, if you listen closely to the lyrics, it is just about loss. So it
It
could be
is.
about a relationship, like you had mentioned too. And I think that's what makes this song be so easy for everyone to embrace.
Yeah.
And I
And
think it's beautiful.
a lot of Dallas's friends have come to me who've heard it, and they said it's great when the line where you say I see your face, I hear your voice. Dallas had a very distinctive voice. It was when he sang, and so his memory keeps going on, and it will for some time, because he did really make an incredible impression on so many people in Canada, throughout the U.S., and even in Europe. So life goes on for the rest of us.
Indeed, it does. Thank you so much, Bruce. And now
Thank you,
sit
Tracy.
back and enjoy this beautiful video, The Good Brothers, Now That You're Gone.
When I close my eyes at night, it's you I always see. Even though you've left us, you're still with me constantly. I see your face, I hear your voice, I try hard to be strong. I've been drinking more now that you're gone. I dream about those good old days, the way that we once were. Now I'll throw back a double, knowing one thing is for sure. And that is you're not coming back, back where you belong. I've been drinking more now that you're gone. There's a genie in this bottle waiting so long to be free. And when it's finally empty, we'll be there to comfort me. Just like a friend who's there to lend a shoulder to lean on. I've been drinking more now that you're gone. Someday I'll fill this emptiness with memories from our past. And maybe that'll be when my next drink will be my last. But now I'll pour another until redemption comes. I've been drinking more now that you're gone. There's a genie in this bottle waiting so long to be free. And when it's finally empty, we'll be there to comfort me. Just like a friend who's there to lend a shoulder to lean on. I've been drinking more now that you're gone. A faithful friend who's there to lend a shoulder to cry on. I've been drinking more now that you're gone. When I close my eyes at night, it's you I always see. I dream about those happy times and how we used to be.